Have you ever thought, wouldn't it be great to get some real help with my business? Maybe from someone who's already been where I want to go, someone who's seen and done it all before. I founded and grew one of North America's most successful subtrades. So I've been where you are, and I've seen all the challenges from where you're standing. Trust me, I know it's not easy keeping all the balls in the air day after day. When every time one drops, it can feel like opportunity is rolling away from you. I worked as a tradesman for a number of years, and then founded or was involved with several different businesses before I started a company called InsoPro. In 6 years, InsoPro went from a spare bedroom to 33 locations, 1,200 employees, and $150 million a year in sales.
We did all that by finding solutions to our subtrade challenges.
Along the way, InsoPro was on the Profit 100 as one of Canada's fastest growing companies for 4 of those 6 years. I was honored as a Pacific Canada Entrepreneur of the Year and inducted to the Entrepreneur of the Year Institute in Dallas. I also won the Royal Bank's Premium Growth Award.
All of these awards were really just for finding solutions to InsoPro's subtrade challenges. And yeah, some of them were unique, but most of our challenges at InsoPro were the same as yours.
I took the company public to finance all that rapid growth. And I'm told InsoPro was and still is the only single location construction subtrade in North America to ever do that. After the 6 years, I sold the company for $32 million.
That wasn't all mine, but it was still a pretty good outcome for finding solutions to InsoPro's subtrade challenges.
I'd like to share with you 10 key components for success in any business that I developed over 4 decades and that were critical to InsoPro's success. 10 key components I believe can create a force in your business, maybe in your entire industry. I'm going to take a couple minutes with each one of the 10 to share what it is, why I think it's important, and how it works together with the other components.
I believe how well you create solutions in these 10 areas
will ultimately determine how much you're able to grow your business, how profitable you are, how much stress and frustration you have along the way, and how much time you have to spend with your family and to enjoy your personal life.
And of course, how much you're able to sell your business for at the end of the day.
After each segment of the video, I'm going to ask you to think about how you'd currently rate that key component in your business. Then, if you like what you've heard, I have a passion for subtrade businesses. So I'd love to spend some time together, talking about your business and getting to know each other, at absolutely no cost to you. Thanks a lot for your time. The most successful business owners have a clear, compelling vision for their company, and they know how to communicate that vision to everyone around them, to their employees, their customers, and to their suppliers. It's often not easy, but every business needs to start with a clear vision. It's actually one of my strongest personal beliefs that if I don't know where I'm going, any road will get me there. Let me ask you a question. What would you say the vision for your company is? And if you asked your employees, customers, and suppliers, would they say the same? You know, the sun provides the earth with billions of kilowatts of energy. But if you stand in it for a while, the most that will happen is you might get a little sunburn. On the other hand, just a few watts of highly focused energy is all a laser beam needs to cut through diamonds. A clear, compelling vision is like a laser beam. It's the first step to creating the force within your business that you really want to have. The vision component of my coaching will clearly define who you are as a company, what you do, where you're going, and how you'll get there. Your vision will help you define your wheelhouse and keep you focused on the areas where you excel. My vision for InsoPro was clear to me even before I named the company, to be the insulation professionals. And that's what I can honestly say we did. That clear vision, to be the insulation professionals, unified our company across 33 locations from BC to Virginia and over 1,200 employees. And it was key to us elevating the professionalism of an industry and going from a spare bedroom to $150 million a year in sales in 6 years. We didn't have any proprietary products or services, but everything about us, even our name, said who we are, what we do, where we're going, and how we're going to get there. When we expanded into the US, the logo we used in Canada changed a little bit for use in the States, but our clear vision stayed exactly the same. Of course, even a clear vision without execution is really just an illusion.
So you need to find solutions to any vision challenges you have in your business if you want to make your vision a reality.
But before we go on, let me ask you another question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you currently rate the vision you have for your business? Would you take just a second and write down your rating for us before we go on? Thanks a lot. There were 5 basic standards we consistently adhered to at InsoPro. They were standards I believed our customers would value, and they were pretty simple. To look and act professionally at all times. To respond quickly to quote requests. To arrive on time and complete the work on time. To pass on first inspection. And to not create any liens on the job site. Sounds like a pretty simple 5-point standard, right? But often just because something is simple doesn't make it easy. Often not easy to develop, not easy to implement, or easy to consistently execute, particularly in a growing business. And it doesn't matter if you'd like to go from 1 employee to 12 or go from 12 employees to 1,200 in 6 years like we did at InsoPro. You definitely need to make sure your professional standards are simple, clear, and able to be consistently executed across the board. I'd like to tell you a true funny story. In the early days, one of our crew managers calls me up and tells me the general contractor says we're insulating the wrong house. Really? So I go through a quick routine while our crew manager's on the phone. I'm trying to determine how that could have happened. And I tell him, I think we're actually in the right house. Then the contractor comes on the line and says, nope, you can't be my insulators. And I say, but I'm pretty sure this is the house we estimated, that we gave you a quote for, and that you asked us to do. And he says, it might be the right house, but you still can't be my insulators. Okay, why not? And he says, Well, because your crew aren't wearing Metallica t-shirts. They don't have beer on their breath. They haven't said fuck, shit, or piss every other word since they arrived. And your truck is worth more than $1. And then he laughed really hard. Okay, so sometimes staying a notch above your competition might seem like a pretty low bar, and so your standards might not need to be elaborate. But at least being one notch above the rest of your industry will provide a solid platform to grow a successful business on. You know, I've also built a number of houses, done a bunch of renos, and developed a 40-acre subdivision. It constantly amazes me when I get calls from trades weeks after I've requested a quote, asking me if I'd still like a quote. I've usually already had the work done, but if I haven't, when it takes weeks just to get a quote, what confidence would I have the work would be done on time, pass on first inspection, or meet any other professional standards I might have as a customer? So, let me ask you, does your company currently have consistent professional standards? Write down for us, if you would, how you'd rate your current level of professionalism from 1 to 10. Thanks a lot. I heard a story about a plane flying over the Atlantic Ocean. The pilot comes on and says, "This is your captain speaking. We're flying at 35,000 feet and none of our gauges are working. So I don't know what direction we're flying in, how fast we're going, how much fuel we have left, or where we might be able to land. But my sense is we might have picked up a bit of a tailwind, so I think we could be making pretty good time." The best business leaders rely on a handful of metrics, some specific data points, the same way a pilot relies on what his gauges are telling him. Usually between 5 and 15 key performance indicators are what's needed to evaluate and effectively manage a business and a team. Another analogy might be that business can also be a lot like football. It can be a pretty complex game with a vast amount of variables, but a handful of metrics will usually give you a pretty good indication of who's winning and losing and why. My wife June's been watching football with me for 40 years. I'm not sure she still really understands first downs, but I'm pretty sure if she looked at this handful of data points, she could tell you who won. And financial statements that your bookkeeper or accountant prepares for you, they're fine. They're good and necessary. But usually they arrive long after they're of much help for a small business. You really need to be able to take the pulse of your business regularly and then use that pulse to plan from week to week, to help you understand what might change in the future, and to quickly identify when things have gone off course. Because if a plane is flying from London to New York and goes off course by even a few degrees, it's not that it doesn't land in New York. It might not even hit North America. So my coaching will help you identify what the key metrics are that you need to have at your fingertips, how to get them, and how to use them to stay on course. So 1 to 10, how would you rate the data that you're currently getting? Thanks a lot. Your processes are the way you operate your business. Good subtrades see the operational components of their business clearly and constantly refine them. At InselPro, we had exactly the same efficient processes across all 33 locations. Any of our 1,200 employees could move or transfer to any other location. All the processes were the same, and everything was consistently done the same way. It didn't matter if the employee was a manager, an estimator, service coordinator, or tradesman. When you refine your core processes, it results in simplicity and efficiency, less frustration, the ability to grow, and obviously more profitability. It's also essential if you ever hope to sell your business and get more than a pocket full of rocks for it. I can help you identify and refine your systems and processes, because you won't get to the next level by having your core processes scattered around in your head with everyone else trying to figure them out. So please take another minute and rate your company's current processes for us 1 to 10. Thanks a lot. Being able to build a team was one of the biggest reasons for InselPro's success. And it's one of the things people outside the company commented about most often. Team building is about your company culture being fully embraced by your key people. But it could also require the willingness to reinvent yourself as your business grows. During the early stages, while a company is still small, team building is mostly about creating a culture the team can rally around and that can be perpetuated as your company grows. You can't build a great company without building a team, and you can't build a great team without a strong culture. As you grow, you need the right people in the right places, doing the right things, and the foundation for that is your company's culture. The first stage of growth usually requires you to add a few key people to your team, while keeping all your existing employees on the same page at the same time. The next stages become harder because they need more key people, and even one wrong person can derail your growth. Every new key person needs to share the company's core values, enjoy working as part of your team, and be prepared to be accountable to their teammates. And each new stage is also harder because each new level will probably require you to reinvent yourself. Not just what you do, but really fundamentally how you get stuff done. And entrepreneurs get very frustrated and even fail here as often as anywhere. In a typical small business, experts say you might have to substantially reinvent yourself several times. Like at $1 million in sales, and 10 million, 50 million, or 100 million, and so on. What makes this part of their journey brutally difficult is that we all naturally want to hold on to the things we did well, what we know was key to getting us to one level, even if holding on to what we've done well in the past prevents us from going to the next level. I know I did. I grew my first Subtrade business very quickly by doing a lot of the trade part well, but I didn't understand how important it was to reinvent myself as the business grew. My coaching can help you develop the appropriate culture, add the right people, and possibly reinvent yourself if that's what growing your business needs. As long as you're willing to do your part, of course. So, how would you currently rate your team building? 1 to 10. Thanks a lot. I think we all know that having the right suppliers can make or break your business. You probably rely on your suppliers as much or even more than your customers rely on you. You rely on your suppliers for competitive pricing, to maintain enough inventory, and to get you your products when you need them. You probably also rely on your suppliers for credit terms that work for your business and for your industry. But do your supplier dynamics go beyond these fundamentals? Do your relationships with your suppliers look more like a partnership than just you buying stuff from them and them selling it to you? And I'm not talking about your suppliers saying they're your partners. In my experience, most suppliers say they want to be your business partners. But what they really mean is they like you to buy as much of their product as you're capable of paying for. And that's not a partnership. That's just a transactional relationship. The best suppliers, the ones that will help you grow your business, will actually embrace the interests of your business as their own, like partners do.
They'll stand shoulder to shoulder with you to help create solutions to your supply issues, not just talk the supplier talk when it's convenient.
So, rate for me, if you would, the current supplier dynamics in your business, 1 to 10. Thanks. I'd simply define good financial management of a small business as no surprises. No surprises on payday, no surprises at month end when you pay the bills, no surprises when you see your financial statements, and no surprises from your bank when you need money. So what does it take to not have any financial surprises? Well, we talked briefly about you knowing what data you need, the processes that will generate your key financial data, and how to gauge your data on a regular basis. A great saying in business is what can be measured can be managed, and I'd add, and doesn't create surprises. And I'm speaking from personal experience when I say you don't need to have a finance degree to be a good financial manager of your business. When I first started in business, I couldn't even read a spreadsheet, let alone a profit and loss statement or a balance sheet. That just wasn't my wheelhouse, and I accepted that. But I paid a tremendous price for it at the time, before I learned it's just not that hard to really understand the fundamental financial information you need to build and grow a successful business without a lot of surprises. After that lesson, I was able to raise or borrow over $20 million for InsoPro on Bay Street, Howe Street, and Wall Street, and do it without a lot of surprises. So again, let me ask you, how would you rate your current level of financial management for your business? Does your answer surprise you? Thanks. I think there are really two main aspects of integrity that are important in any business. A lot of people would say integrity is mostly about character, about being honest and trustworthy, about doing what you say you'll do. And that's true. That is an important aspect of integrity, and one that your customers, your employees, and your suppliers will see, they'll appreciate, and they'll respond to. But I think there's another aspect of integrity in business that's not all about adhering to a moral code or a set of ethical principles. And that goes to integrity actually being the root of integration, about your company being whole and sound and really undivided. And that aspect of integrity will go a long way in determining not just the level of your success, but also in the personal satisfaction you'll have in achieving that success.
But integrating the 10 key components of your business can be challenging.
So please take another minute if you would, and from 1 to 10, rate overall how you feel about the integrity component of your business right now. Both the character and the integration. And you can rate each aspect out of 5 if you want, and then add them together if that's easier. Thanks. Marketing is what you do to get more of the customers you want, instead of getting more of the customers you don't want. To do that, you need the right message and the right strategies. In my experience, the most effective message to get more of the customers you really want is a message that combines your vision, your standards, and your integrity. Why? Not because I believe most builders really care about them or about you, but because these components speak directly to the one thing that every builder or homeowner that you really want as a customer does really care about. And what is that one thing? It's that you offer the best value. And what's best value exactly? Well, over 4 decades dealing with thousands of builders, I've come to define best value as simply the best price for the work that a contractor can trust. Not the lowest price, the best price for the work that a contractor can trust. And the customers that you're really targeting need and want the best value, because every good builder knows they actually buy what they need with 3 things: their money, their time, and their reputation. To get more of the customers you actually want, you need to tailor your message to those customers who recognize they don't just buy what you're selling with their money at the expense of their time and reputation. You probably don't want a lot more customers who think they only buy with their money, do you? They'll go for the lowest price every time. And why wouldn't they? With their mindset, the quality of your products and the value of your service don't even factor into their buying decision, because they don't even think about the value of their time or their reputation when they're making their decision. You can have a few customers like that, but I don't think you want to try to build a successful business on them. After you have the right message, then you need to decide what the right strategies are to get your message to the customers you actually want. Your message can be delivered in a lot of different ways, probably 100 different ways, using any number of different platforms. The best marketing strategies for you will depend on your business, but over the years, I've developed what I think are the 10 most effective overall marketing strategies for subtrades. Together, from the 10 overall strategies, we'll choose 2 or 3 that are right for you and your industry. Then we'll identify which methods for that strategy are going to work the best for you, like the right referral strategies or the right internet strategies. And while we're developing strategies, we'll reinforce 10 marketing success principles, because good strategies are a lot stronger if they're built on a foundation of good success principles. So please take another minute before we go on and rate how effective you think your current marketing is. 1 to 10. Thanks. Every business has issues in need of solutions. Issues are just the challenges or obstacles you need to face and find solutions for to be able to execute your vision. The more clarity you have in your vision and your processes, the more easily issues can be clearly identified and overcome. And issues do need to be overcome. Too many businesses are held back or even robbed of their vision simply because they let issues stay unresolved and unsolved. The reason I hear most often is, I just don't have time to deal with that. But we all know that unresolved issues just eat up our time and profit day after day, month after month. The good news is that any Subtrade business only really has a handful of different kinds of issues. The same ones come up over and over again. So what are your main issues? I'm pretty sure I've seen them before, probably more than once. Is it that you don't have the management tools you need? Do you have problems with your workforce? Do you lack systems and processes? Need more timely data? Don't have effective marketing? Or do you just feel overwhelmed and don't know what to do next? Whatever your issues are, I can assure you, going from a spare bedroom to $150 million a year in sales, I saw them all. I'm not ashamed to admit I made a lot of mistakes, but ultimately, I was able to build a business that sold for $32 million after 6 years by being able and committed to finding solutions. Issues can be great or small. Both need to be dealt with. Obviously, you need to deal with your big issues first. I'll give you a couple examples of the bigger issues we had. InsoPro was a growth company. Our main supplier had guaranteed us all the loose fill insulation we needed to continue growing at a pretty fast pace. Then one day our supplier told us that because of an industry-wide shortage, we weren't going to get even half the supply we needed over the next year. Their suggestion was that we stop growing or even do half the business we'd done the year before. Obviously, that wasn't an option. Our solution? We built our own high-quality loose-fill insulation plant in 10 weeks rather than stop growing. Another bigger issue we had was that we couldn't find a suitable data management system for the unique way InsoPro operated. So we built our own. It wasn't easy, and it was time-consuming. But that management system not only provided the framework we needed to sustain our rapid growth, but we also licensed the system we developed to 2 other companies. Your issues may not seem that big, but left unresolved, they'll rob your potential. So again, let me ask you, how would you rate your current ability to find solutions for your company's issues? 1 to 10. Thank you. I trust this has been time well spent for you. Every business has issues. If you like what you've heard and think I might be able to help,
Please contact me at rick@subtradesolutions.com.
Together, we'll find solutions in your Subtrade business that will result in more simplicity and efficiency.
Less frustration, more ability to grow and be more profitable.
And of course, to add value if you ever decide to sell your business.
thanks again for your time.